Hey everybody, welcome back. This is episode 4. It's not important. However, there have been some big changes, pretty much some last night. So, this is what I was thinking. Originally the game was going to be using D12s, 12-sided dice, and the way difficulty would be set would be like kind of tiers or levels. Level 1, which is your normal roll, would use 2 d12s. Level 2, 3, all the way up to level 4, which would be 5 d12s. And so I was sitting there as I was thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? This isn't hitting one of the things I want, which is I want it to be accessible. I want it to be people, no matter who, like experienced or not, could be able to play this game. And as I looked at it more and more, I realized the D12, as much as I want to use it, might be a hindrance. So I was driving to a Super Bowl party yesterday, and I was like doing the math in my head for, like, if you guys remember the last video, the statistics of the main attribute and then the substats underneath it. I'm like, okay, if it was this, what would the highest point value be and everything? If it was at fully maxed out and a level 4 check and all that stuff, what would it be like with D6s? And I was like, okay, well, a highest would be like with 5 dice, if you rolled all 6s, would be a 30. What would the highest point value be? And I was like, okay, well, you have 7 times 4, which would be 28, which then I found out later, re-looking at my notes, I don't have a 7 score thing, so I don't know why I was getting into that. And so the more and more I was looking into this and looking at the 6-sided dice and what I wanted to do with them, I was feeling a lot more comfortable switching to these dice, mainly because they are a whole lot more accessible to get. I think you can get like a set of 50 for like $5 on Amazon. So, like, this would be very easy to introduce somebody and like multiple people in, getting a whole bunch of 6-sided dice, and that's all you need. So I'm feeling way more comfortable with that. Speaking about the levels, that is kind of what a lot of the mechanics are built off of. A lot of things go up to level 4 levels. Like the difficulty, as we said, level 1, 2, 3, 4, which adds more dice to your roll, which makes it difficult if you're like a lower level or don't have things fully leveled. Which I'm still trying to figure out leveling on. But another big mechanic is ailments. And this was something I was getting a little bit of inspiration from Pathfinder 2nd Edition. In Pathfinder 2nd Edition, I believe it's called Conditions, where it's very similar things that you heard in Pathfinder 1, 5th Edition, and a lot of games where it's like, okay, you can be poisoned, confused, like those kind of things. And as I was listening and reading about Pathfinder 2, the way they have it set up is there's different levels, which makes it more intense, to where it's harder to do checks or a lot of stats go down, and everything. Pretty much all these different things as the level increases. I wanted to do something similar. Oh, I just remembered one other thing. I'll save that for the very end. So anyway, some of these are written that like I really like, and I wanted to make them all feel a little bit different. So I don't know how many, because it's just a big list that didn't show up on the video screen, of just a bunch of different things. And in another video I'll explain like how encounters and all this stuff works. Health isn't as finite of a number as it may seem in other games. But anyway, for example, nausea, which is a pretty common thing, but the way to explain that is, okay, with nausea, at level 1, vigor, which is one of your attributes, all the substats underneath that are now upgraded to a level 2 check. So that means you gotta roll 3d6. Level 2 is a level 3 check. Level 4 is, a level 3 nausea is you have to do a level 4 check, and before you can even move, you have to pass a vigor check. And then at level 4, because all checks max out level 4, so it's like you can't add any more dice. But at level 4, it's like your vigor check is at a level 4, and you're overcome with sickness, and you're able to move until passing a vigor check. And I think I wrote the same thing. Oh, sorry. At level 3, you have to pass the vigor check to like do anything besides moving. So you can move. At level 4, you're just stuck there, nauseated and everything. Another one is like poison. So there's 4 stats, and what you do is you roll randomly for each level, and that automatically, any check that falls under there is made a level 4. So a neuro could immediately become a level 4 check for any of those sub skills until you deal with the poison. And that's kind of what I wanted to do, which is like make these attributes that can be added, and wasn't so much like, oh, poison is normally like health tick as time goes on. It's like, I didn't want that. The game isn't based around I have to keep my health points up. It's more of, can I pass my checks to make sure that as a team we can survive and defeat the obstacle. And that is the mindset of that will be going into really any game. So like, there's still combat, there's still all this other stuff, but it's not so much like if I hit 0 hit points, I'm dead. Which is still being worked on a little bit. This is what also goes into the wrestle thing. The other big thing that I wanted to mention, which I think I mentioned it in a side thing, which I realized was going against the rule of keeping it simple, was I got rid of the age mechanics, which pretty much it added more stats that you could put into your character. And the more I thought about it, I was like, that's just one other thing that isn't needed. So just clean it out, take it out. If I want to add age stuff, I can figure that out later. The other thing is for occupation. Occupations are still going to exist, but instead of giving a skill and stat points, I'm getting rid of the stat points, so that way your roots and your upbringing will give, I think I'm going to make that give you 2 points into 2 different attributes, or keep it as it is, we'll figure it out. But your occupation is going to give you a skill, so that way it's not like, if you want a skill, it isn't tied to all these other number of things that you gotta figure out. You're like, oh, I want this, but it's not gonna help me the way I'm setting up my character. It's like, take the skill, because we're here to tell stories, not get stuck on numbers. Anyway, that is all that's for this episode. I feel like I just word vomited out. But yeah, I hope you all have a lovely day. Until next time, peace.